everyone, it's Stina again. Stina aka Giddy Girl, and I am working on this junk journal page. And if you remember last time, I basically did some zigzag stitching here, and you probably remember where I said I wasn't going to worry about this because it had flipped under. Well, I had to fix it. It was bugging me. So I fixed it. So anyways, now what I want to do is I'm going to work on a little bit of a title here, and I decided I'm going to make that as a tuck. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So what I did is I had gone through and Googled some images and some quotes, and I like this one: wine flies when you are having fun. So I'm going to do that, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this to this black cardstock to pop it up a little bit, and this is going to act as my title and my quote and my tuck, which tuck is one of the requirements. So what I'm going to do though before I glue this down is I'm going to go ahead and distress it. I want to just have it pop up a little bit more and just give it some more dimension. And what I did is I printed it on light brown cardstock straight off my computer. So when I was doing my images, I found this wine bottle that I absolutely love, and I printed it. Let me see if I can find it. And I love the way it came out. I love this image, but this is Italy and this says Paris. So I can't have that. That was going to bug me. But that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep this for later. And I loved it because this is the color, and I loved how it printed on this this brown. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I'll save this image for another time. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down onto my black cardstock. Yeah, I decided to go ahead and look for these images off camera. I'm sure you didn't need me to do that in front of you. So so I just want to give it just a hair of a border, not a lot. And let's see if I can use my paper trimmer and get pretty close to it. I was going to do it with scissors, but let's see if I can do this without giving it too much of a border, because sometimes I do that. And looks good to me. Just enough to pop it. And I think what I want to do is use a little bit of this burlap, and I don't want to cover. It would help if I'm in frame. I don't want to cover the wine bottles. And if I'm going to use this for a tuck, then I need to make sure that I do it on this side, so that way there is room for tucking that in. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue those two together and then that on. So let's see, what glue do I want to use? I am going to use my tacky glue. Get it going without shaking the whole table. And then I think for one of my tags, well, I don't think, I decided, for one of my tags I'm going to use, I'm going to make a sequence tag or shaker tag using that lace that we used earlier. Holy smokes, come on. Okay, there we go. It's amazing for this little project how much a mess I make. And of course, I put the glue on the wrong. Oh, the heat must be getting to me. Okay, I want that there, and then I am going to coat this with more glue. A lot of glue. I will say the one thing I like about this napkin on this paper, you know, if you Mod Podge it, it would give like this this I don't know, this soft and it almost kind of rigid feeling to it because it's got it will show your brush strokes on it. But doing it this way with just the napkin on top of the base, it gives it almost like a fabric feel to it. So I actually really like that a lot. All right. I'm going to glue that right there and let that set. Now I almost wish that I would have thought about this ahead of time, because had I figured out that this is what I was going to use, I probably would have put some staples in it as well. But this is okay. And then that way that creates a little bit of a tuck there. So that needs to sit. Let me burnish it a little bit to just make sure that all that glue is going to sit in there. See how that's kind of squishing out a little bit? So I'm just going to take my bone folder and just kind of scoop that up a little bit. So that works out pretty well. Okay. I like that. Okay. We have that inside. All right. Next, what I want to do is I want to create a little shaker. And so I am going to cut, using this fabric again, I'm going to cut this a little bigger. And I'm working off my desk, and I've got this sewing machine still here because I'm going to use it. I'm going to use my sewing machine. So I haven't removed it. And that's one thing about having that little sewing machine. It takes up a little bit of space, but it still takes up space. So, okay, so I'm going to cut this. Can you believe I only paid $1 for this lace? Went to this warehouse sale. That it wasn't really a warehouse sale, it was at a Eagles Lodge. My friend Lori told me about it. Is it Elk Lodge? Yeah, Elk Lodge, and it had all these trims and stuff. And I'm not sure if it was like an estate sale or what, but there was a ton of fabrics and laces and stuff. So I really scored on a bunch of stuff. Okay. Never know what you're going to find, and it always helps to have friends because they tell you about all the good deals. Okay, I'm going to use my my angle corner punch. I think I'm going to do large, and I just want to give it my tag corners. Okay. I want to do that first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around this. Let's go this way and get that going. And then I think because I'm making a shaker out of this, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a really tight zigzag stitch. So I'm going to do 3 sides, and that way I can have one side open so I can fill it or put my sequins in there. And to be honest, I don't even know how this is recording. Like, I'm not sure if the sewing machine is too loud over my voice. While I'm sewing this, I will tell you guys that it is 94 degrees outside. I like the heat, but just sitting in it and not really doing anything, it's almost ready to pass out. So, I'm back in my office, comfortable in shorts. I don't normally wear shorts, but it's hot. Yeah, so I wanted to do the really tight zigzags, so that way that way my thread gets into all those little holes, and I just want to make sure it's not going to come undone. Almost done. Let's see if I can get a little bit of an angle. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and back stitch, and then we'll close it up once we put our sequence in there. I'm going to go ahead and trim that close. So I didn't get quite the same seam allowance here, but that's okay. It gives it a little bit of variance there. So I got some green sequins, I got some like a coppery, and I got a little bit of this red, which I think it'll be okay. I didn't know if I wanted to include that in there because I don't really have like a lot of red in there, but I figure with the lace it'll kind of pop through. So what I'm doing is I'm getting one of my little bowls so I can mix this in there, and I'm looking for my little sequence spoon. Okay. I'm just going to put some of that green in there, right? So we have grape leaves. And I honestly think that's enough. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. And it's more for the idea of it. And then I'm going to fill my little tag. So I just need to give it a little bit of give it some room to get poured in there. And I'm just going to pour all of it. Why not? Hopefully that doesn't look too Christmassy. Does that look Christmassy? I don't want it to look Christmassy. What do you think? That kind of looks Christmassy, huh? Shoot. Maybe because I have too much red in there? I'm a little, I'm not sure anymore. Christmas at the Vineyards? Why not? We'll leave it alone. Maybe she might go for Christmas, right? And you know what? If she doesn't want it in there, she can always remove it. But that's the fun of it, right? So now I'm just closing this back up. Oops. All right. That's it. I've seen people do this tag with tulle, but I wanted to use the lace because I've already had the lace in here, so why not? What do you guys think? And that camera is totally catching it. Nice. So then I'm just going to trim the remainder. Actually, I think I'm going to leave that lace alone on that side, and then I'm just going to cut it on the other ends. So that way the lace is on one side kind of sticking out a little bit. And get this trimmed up. And then the back side of it, she can use it to do some journaling on it if she wanted to. Totally up to her. Let's go ahead and take this corner. I think I had too much coffee today. I'm a little shaky. And then there's that tag. And that can go there if she wanted to. Or we can have it go here. Might be too much lace on top of each other. And I think I'm going to go ahead at this point. Whoops, I just spilled a whole bunch of sequins on my desk. You know what they say, you're supposed to close things up. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and distress the edges. That way it kind of just all coordinates with each other. And let's do the back side too, just in case she wants to use that for something. I mean, probably at this point everybody probably has vintage photo, but who knows? All right, so that's tag number 2. So it's 4 tags or journals, journaling spots. So that could be either or on those. Okay, and then let's see what else. Also, I found this Tuscany. Let me close some of this. I'm afraid that I'm going to spill it again. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm putting the right lids on my salt shakers here. So here is a map of Tuscany that I found, and it's pretty bright white. So I didn't do it on darker paper. So I'm just going to use this vintage photo and just kind of mute it down a little bit to where it looks more a little aged. I did crinkle it up just to give it some texture. Maybe it's an old map that she found. So it's old. We found it, and it's time to go for an adventure. So I'm just using a sponge. It was a round sponge, and I just cut it in quarters to get more use out of it, so I can use various colors. And just kind of aging it a little bit. And I'm not going to worry about the back. And I could take an ink pad and just wipe it over if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so it looks like that maybe this map traveled with somebody, fell out of their pocket, and somebody else found it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay. There. I like it. And of course that is super stark. Let's see if I can find something. And maybe I can just tone it down a little bit, and hopefully I don't make a mess out of it. Let's just do a little bit. There we go. So I'm using some desert sand, some close to my heart desert sand, and I'm just going to distress it a little bit on the back. And it's just picking up that texture. Okay, that's all I want to do. I'm just going to fold it in half. That can go in the folder. What do you think? Looks pretty good. Okay, so I've got 2 tags. I've got my tack. And what else do I have? I wanted to do oh boy, I've got a mess up here. Let's see, I found some scrapbook paper here. So I need 2 more tags or journaling spots. And this is 6, I think this is 6 inches. Yep. So you know what? I'm just going to cut this to 3 inches. And I got 2 more tags / journaling spots. That works for me. And again, I'm just going to distress everything. Now the back is black, so it's double-sided scrapbook paper, so I don't need to do anything on that side. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to finish the rest of this off camera, and then I will come back and show you the final. I don't want to go overboard with this, only because I don't know what she's using this for. And so, but what I will do is I will actually include some extra goodies. I'm not sure if it's going to coordinate or not, but I'll include some extra goodies for her. So well, I guess I probably should, just in case she wants to incorporate. Maybe I'll give her that Paris wine bottle tag. So there's that. Oh, and I found in my stash, this was gifted to me. Actually, I think I actually got this out of a junk kit from I'm a Cool Mom. Isn't that pretty? So it doesn't need to be distressed too much because it kind of already is. And I'm going to include this envelope as well. Hey, let me get some ink. How about if I open it first? I think it's because I didn't really want to wear it. I tend to leave things open and make a mess of things. So I'm going to include this envelope too, so then that way she can use that to stash. And actually that will create a tuck as well. So, and what I might do is go ahead and do a charm. So I'm going to tuck this in this pocket like this, and I might actually make a little charm to go with it and dangle it off this paper clip. And so if she wanted to, she could actually tuck something in here like this. And yeah, I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera, and then I'll come back with my conclusion. So I'm probably just going to do a little bit more embellishments and so forth. So I think as far as techniques and things, I think that's pretty much it that I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I did quite a bit though. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm rambling. I was just kind of trying to brainstorm and think out loud. So I'm going to finish this up, and I think we're good to go. So I think this was video number 2. No, this is video number 3. So the 4th one will be just the final review. Reveal. Cannot talk. Reveal. See, the heat's getting to my head. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.